What's up everybody, this is Yair and today we are going to draw Gogeta. Okay, so today we are going to draw Gogeta in his normal form. If you'll check the description box, you can see all the materials I'm using for this tutorial along with Amazon product links. Now as you can see, I already drew a perfect square. Each side is 4 centimeters, but you can draw it in any size you want to. Just make sure to use a suitable paper size. So this is gonna be a 3/4 pose. I'm gonna start by drawing the shape of his face. As you can see, I'm using 2 guidelines to mark the center of his face and then draw his hairline. Awesome, next we'll draw the wrinkles between the eyes. Then we'll draw the eyebrow. As you can see, I'm using 1 curved line down and then another curve all the way up to the sideburn. And the edge will be obviously thicker. To draw the eye, we'll simply use 3 lines and make sure to draw the bottom line with a nice curve. We'll add the pupil at the center slightly to the left because we want him to look directly at us. And then simply add the cheek marks. Awesome, so we'll do the same for the left side. However, because of the angle, because of the perspective, the left eye will be noticeably smaller. Awesome. Next we'll continue by drawing the nose. As you can see, I'm doing it simply by drawing 5 lines. The more you'll practice it, it will come naturally. And next we'll draw the mouth really close to the nose with a very minimum gap, and then indicate the bottom lip. Awesome. Next we'll draw his spike of hair covering the eye a little bit. As you can see, I'm using 7 lines for that. And then we'll move on to draw the ear. So first I'm gonna start by drawing the frame of the ear, the shape, and then I'm gonna add all the details. Awesome, so now we want to focus on the hair. But first I'm gonna draw his neck and the trap muscle. Then we'll draw 1 spike of hair on the right side, a small one, another one on the left, and as you can see, I'm using this guideline in order to keep the right proportions of the hair. All we have to do now is just add more spikes, and usually I'm doing it by using 3 lines. Awesome, so we are done with the face and now we can focus on the torso. So first I'm gonna start by drawing the neck muscles. Then I'm gonna use this guideline to mark the center of his torso. We'll draw the second trap and then I'll use 2 circles to indicate the shoulders. Next, we'll draw the chest muscles. And we'll draw the trachea as well. Don't forget about the trachea. We'll complete the chest by drawing the bottom chest muscle. then we want to focus on his left arm. So first, I'm gonna add the bicep, mark the triceps, we'll complete the bicep, and then add the elbow and the forearm. Now just add some details to the shoulder. Awesome, next we'll draw his back just by drawing 3 curves. We'll do the left side as well. And the same for his right arm. So I'm starting with the bicep, then adding the tricep, and then the forearm. Awesome, so now that we got his basic anatomy, we can start drawing the vest. Okay, so we'll just place the vest on top of him. So we'll start with the overall shape and add those fluffy thingies on his vest. Then we'll add some details to the fluffy thingies. And we'll do the same for the left side. Awesome, and the last thing to do is add some abs. So again, I'm gonna use the same guideline we used before, the center of the torso, and I'm gonna add 4 abs. Awesome, so we are done with the sketch, and now what we need to do is ink this entire drawing. I'm gonna use a black marker for that, 0.1 or 0.2. I'm gonna rotate the page so I can have as much comfort as possible. Hold the pen with a firm grip, preferably on the tip of the pen, and just go all over the lines until we are done. Awesome, so now what we want to do is clean this entire drawing from any lead. As you can see, I'm using my notorious charcoal eraser, but you can use any eraser you got. Just make sure to do a very fine job of erasing, because if you leave any lead behind, you might smear it later on once we use the Copic markers. Awesome, so now that it's clean, we're going to use Copic markers. Those are alcohol-based markers, which means they can blend very well. If you don't have Copic markers, you can use color pencils, or just use your regular HB2 pencil and do some shading. Okay, we don't want any excuses. If you can't afford Copic markers, just use color pencils. If you can't afford color pencils, just use HB2 pencils and do some shading. So, as you can see, I already choose the colors I'm gonna use. We got the colors for the vest, the skin tones, and the hair. We're going to start with the skin tones. I'm gonna use 4 tones for that. We'll start with the brightest one. And don't forget to color in the direction of the shape, because that will help us get that 3D effect. Just fill in this entire area, but as you can see, I'm leaving some blank areas just to create some nice highlights. Next, we'll use a darker tone, and for this drawing the light source will come from the left side, the main light source, which means obviously that the right side will appear darker because it gets less light. Next, we'll use an even darker tone. Now, what we want to do is some blending. So, we'll use the mid-tone to blend the darkest tone. And then we'll use the brightest tone to blend the mid-tone. Now what we want to do is use another tone, a very dark tone, and color all the darkest areas. Awesome, so this is the result we are going after. I'm gonna do the same process for his torso, so I'm repeating it again. I'm gonna start with the brightest tone, covering all the areas, but leaving some blank spots, the areas that sticks out more, that get more light. I'm gonna leave them blank. Next, I'm gonna use the mid-tone, coloring all the shaded areas. After that, we'll use a darker tone, and then we'll use the darkest tone with a minimum use. Don't overdo it. After we did that, all we have to do is some blending. So again, I'm gonna use the mid-tone to blend the darkest tone, and I'll use the brightest tone to blend the mid-tone. And if you want, you can also use the colorless blender to color those blank points we talked about earlier, just to soften those edges to get a better blend. Awesome, so we'll do the same process, the exact same process for his left arm, and then we'll continue with the vest. Awesome, so to color the vest, we are going to use some gray purple tones. Just like before, I'm gonna start with the brightest tone, and as you can see I'm coloring in the direction of the shape. Okay, that's important, to color in the direction of the shape. Next I'm gonna use the mid-tone. Then the darkest tone. And just like before, we'll do some blending. Awesome, so we'll do the same process for the right side, and as you can see, the more layers you add, the more solid the color will look and the better blending you'll get. Sweet, so now we can focus on those fluffy yellow thingies. I'm gonna start with a very bright yellow, and just like we did with the muscles, I'm gonna leave some blank areas. Those will be our highlighted areas. Next we'll use the mid-tone, a darker tone, and then the darkest tone. Next step will be blending, of course, and some adjustments. As you can see, I'm using the mid-tone for those cracks. Awesome, so this is the result we want to get, and we'll do the same exact process for the rest of them. Awesome, once we are done with that, we can focus on the face. So we'll use the same skin tones, obviously. I'm gonna start by filling this entire area with E51. Then I'll use the mid-tone, and as you can see, I'm leaving some areas, the areas that sticks out more, for example his cheek, those bumps above the eyes. We'll do some blending. Next we'll use a darker tone for those wrinkles between the eyes, for the bottom area of the nose, the bottom lip. And for his right side of the face. Just like before, we'll do some blending. and I'll use an even darker tone for the temple. Awesome! Next we'll color the eyes. I'm gonna start with a light gray, then I'll use the black color, and then I'm gonna blend it using the light gray again. That way we'll get a nice gradient. Next we'll color the eyebrows simply by filling them with the black color. And as you can see, for those edges I'm using the black pen just because I don't want to cross the lines. Awesome, now we can focus on the hair. So for the hair I'm gonna use 3 colors. We'll use a very bright gray, then a darker gray, and the black color. First I'm gonna start by demonstrating how to color 2 spikes of hair. As you can see, I'm starting with the brightest color. Then I'm gonna use the mid-tone, just like that, and then we'll use the black color. So as you can see, the black color is obviously more dominant. After that, we'll do some blending. So again, starting with the brightest color, then adding the mid-tone. After that, the darkest tone, the black color. And then blending. Awesome! So we'll do the same process for the rest of the hair. And now, if you're sensitive, please lower the volume a bit. And we are done!
Everybody?
So, this is how you draw Gogeta in his basic form, no Super Saiyans here. I want to congratulate whoever made it this far. Good for you for taking the challenge. Please let me know how you did, and if you want to see more tutorials, make sure to support my channel, share this video with your friends, leave a like and subscribe. I'm uploading new tutorials every weekend. If you want to buy some of my original art, you can check out my Etsy shop. The link is in the description box and at the end of the video. That's it for today. Keep being awesome, and I'll see you on the next video. really soon. Peace!